Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I am that Rose Noir, and you, dear fiends, are my favorite people. Great news. We have received monetization back here at the Den, so thank you for your support, and let's continue talking about the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. And trigger warning, we are talking the autopsy of Dee Dee Blanchard, and I did manage to download some of the medical examiner's drawings. So if this is not for you, I suggest you stop here and thank you for watching. Please come back for an episode that is more to your liking. But if this is your type of content and you would like to see the autopsy drawings, not the report, but the drawings, please stay tuned. In the previous episodes, which I will link in the description, I have talked about her 17 wounds, her history, her medications, and the fact that she had absolutely no substances or alcohol in her body. Now, I talked about the first wound, which I believe was administered by Gypsy Rose Blanchard herself in the kitchen. And that is the one that hit the heart. It happens to be the first wound mentioned by the medical examiner, who does state that all of these 17 wounds are numbered arbitrarily and not necessarily in order. I just found that that was odd and it stuck out to me. So if we look at the picture of the right and left profile of the body, the profile facing right shows one wound, which I believe is a post-mortem wound that was administered by Nicholas Godejohn. And the way Dee Dee's body was found, this would make sense, although Nicholas Godejohn himself has described Dee Dee as being awake and asking who she was and screaming. So I don't know who's lying and who's not. I also heard a rumor that Gypsy Rose Blanchard had previously committed this act and recorded her screams and played them when Nicholas Godejohn went in to stab a corpse. And if you look through many of my shorts, that is what people are saying. Now, if we go to the next photo where everything's covered in coins, we can see what's stab wound 15, and that is to the right side of the neck. That one could have been done by either one of them. And then we have here the 13 wounds to the back. So when we're looking at the posterior photo here or drawing here, we're looking at the 13 stab wounds, whereas the anterior only has the one stab wound labeled 15. And when we go back to the right side profile, we see stab wound 14. So we're 16 and 17. Well, 16 is above her right ear, and 17 is right where the spinal cord meets the brain. Now, of course, if you look at all of these wounds, there are numerous incised wounds. And if you don't know what that is, it is a clean, straight-edged cut made by something sharp, most often a knife, razor, scalpel, or a piece of glass. And we all remember Gypsy's video where she said that scratching was her signature move, and she would file her nails and sharpen them like knives or claws so she could scratch incised wounds. And this is a very personal crime, very personal. Which brings us back to her anterior and posterior wounds. And if you look at the posterior wounds, all those 13 allegedly Gypsy's favorite number. and you look at her tattoo, and this photo I borrowed from Perez Hilton. This is via Perez Hilton's website, so all credit there. But you see that her tattoo really does mimic those 13 wounds that Nicholas Godejohn said he did not administer. He only administered 4. And we do know that people that commit these kinds of acts, especially when they get away with them for any period of time, and it seems she's gotten away with it forever, for life, they like to get a little trophy. And she's saying she's free. But what is she free of? Is she free of her mom? Is she free of her alleged prison in life where she didn't have that life? She lied about everything. She made all of this up as an excuse to manipulate someone into helping her get rid of her mom because she told him they could never be together. She catfished him. Gypsy Rose Blanchard catfished Nicholas Godejohn. I mean, think about it. What is the common denominator that catfishers do? It's this deep love. It's this soulmate. It's this I can't live without you. And she also pretended to look the way she didn't. She was always in wigs and costumes, or as we have seen pictures of versions of butt naked in some of these videos, but yet she claimed that she had no freedom to do anything. Honey, if you can be butt naked in your videos to a man you're catfishing, to talk into conspiring with you to off your mom, you have a lot more freedom than you say. As I've said in my last short video, it's not about hating on Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It is about hating what she did and not glorifying this type of behavior so others don't follow her lead. Thank you for joining me in the den. If you like this, again, subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that bell. If you've got something to say, send me an email at welcometothedenpodcast@gmail.com.